What if the cold wasn't the most dangerous thing in Alaska? What if something was already waiting there, long before you arrived? In 1947, deep in the frozen silence of the Alaskan wilderness, a brutal storm is raging. Inside a small wooden cabin, a group of explorers sit in complete darkness. The wind howls outside like something alive. Snow pounds against the walls. And then, a sound. Low, deep, unnatural. Something is outside, and it is getting closer. Before anyone can react, the cabin explodes into chaos. Wood splinters, glass shatters, blood splashes across the walls, and in a single horrifying moment, everything goes silent. We cut to black. No explanation, no answers, just fear. Now fast forward. 2 years later, a powerful oil tycoon, Mariel Sunday Sr., and a world-famous explorer, Hollis Bannister, have vanished in the same frozen region. No bodies, no signals, nothing. And that's when the story truly begins. Mariel's son, Mariel Sunday Jr., refuses to accept his father is gone. He gathers a rescue team, specialists, soldiers, survival experts, people trained to survive anything. But there's one more person he insists must come. Ellie Bannister, the daughter of the missing explorer. A cartographer, a map expert, a woman who understands the land better than anyone, but has never truly survived in it. She refuses at first, but something about her father's disappearance doesn't feel right. And so she agrees. What she doesn't know is that this mission is not a rescue. It is an invasion, because deep in those mountains, something is already watching them, and it is not human. The team flies into Alaska. At first, everything feels manageable. Cold winds, white mountains, endless silence. But silence in Alaska is never peace. It is warning. As they move deeper into the wilderness, things begin to fall apart. Their equipment malfunctions, their communication weakens. And then they find the first abandoned camp. Tents ripped open, gear scattered, and blood frozen into the snow. No bodies, just signs of a violent escape. Something forced them to run in terror. Then they find something worse. Massive footprints. Not human, not animal. Something enormous. Ellie studies the tracks. She doesn't say it out loud at first, because if she's right, it changes everything. But Mariel Jr. refuses to listen. He wants answers. He wants his father. And that is when the first attack happens. A scream echoes through the forest. A man disappears into the trees. And then, the deeper they go, the worse it gets. People begin disappearing one by one. Not in battle, not in struggle, just gone. The survivors begin to break. Fear turns into paranoia. Paranoia turns into betrayal. And the wilderness becomes a trap with no exit. Ellie starts noticing patterns. This is not random. The creature is not hunting for food. It is protecting something, its territory. And then she says it, the word no one wants to hear. Yeti. At first they laugh, a myth, a legend. But legends don't leave footprints the size of car hoods, and legends don't tear through steel and bone like paper. Then they see it. Not clearly, never clearly. A shadow between the trees, a shape too large to be natural. And then, a killing. Fast, brutal, unstoppable. But still, the creature never fully reveals itself, because it doesn't need to. Fear does the rest. And now the team understands something terrifying. They are not being attacked. They are being hunted deliberately, and the Yeti is getting closer. By now, the group is shattered. Only a few remain. The snowstorm grows worse. Visibility drops to almost nothing, and the Yeti is everywhere. Ellie realizes the truth. The expedition, the missing father, the oil tycoon, they didn't just stumble into danger. They entered its home. And the Yeti is not a mindless monster. It is defending something ancient, something buried deep beneath the ice. The final survivors make a desperate run towards extraction, but the forest closes in on them. One by one, they fall. And then it happens. The Yeti appears fully, massive, white-furred, almost unreal in scale. And it is not angry, it is focused. The final confrontation is not a battle, it is survival. Ellie is left alone, face to face with the creature, and in that moment, she understands. This was never about rescue. It was about intrusion. The Yeti spares her, not out of mercy, but warning. And as she is pulled away by helicopter, she looks down at the frozen wilderness. Something still moves below the snow, alive, waiting, guarding. And the last thing we hear is the wind, carrying a sound that feels almost like a warning. Because some places are not meant to be explored. And that is the full story of the Yeti 2026, a creature feature about survival, fear, and the terrifying idea that some legends are real for a reason. If you enjoyed this cinematic breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more deep movie recaps and story explanations. Because next time, we might not just be telling the story of the monster, we might be telling the story of what woke it up.